Hey y'all, so look, I'm not gonna bore you with this, but I gotta let you know what happened. This was some real boots on the ground stuff. So my daughter called me while I was on my Memorial Day trip and she said, Mommy, I just saw a baby groundhog in the backyard. You know how hard I fought last year, and I couldn't have that. So it's time to get tough. But let me show you the damage. So this is the garden bed that they attacked. I believe they attacked a couple of plants at the bottom of my green stalk here. So Tort, you didn't do your job. You didn't scare them off. That's what I got you for. But this garden bed here is the one they attacked. And I have quite a bit of squash in here. And look at this, y'all. They tore up them leaves. I guess groundhogs they like carrots. I see that. They like carrots. But they also like squash. Just showing you the damage. And at the time, I thought it was just one groundhog. So Benji, my Bengal cat, was on it. Let me tell you, don't mess with Benji. He was out in the backyard with my daughter when she saw the groundhog, and he went into action. Let me show you this. He let that groundhog know that this was his territory. So what I'm saying here is that I found out that there was more than one groundhog. There were two. Here they go, look at them. My daughter thought they were cute. So I went on a search to find out how they were getting into the backyard. So there had been a little crawl hole underneath the fence here that a squirrel had dug. And I don't mind the squirrels, they don't bother my yard. But when my daughter told me about the groundhog that she had seen back here, I immediately plugged the hole and put this cinder block on top of it. Now this isn't the garden side of my house, which is a good thing, but I watched one of the groundhogs eat his way all the way down the side here. So I put some stones there because I saw there was a little crawl space. And on the outside of the fence, I have this log from a tree cutting. So I've been in a real conflict, and hey, so far, I think I'm winning. Let's go to that garden tour. So the captain got me got us a new hose reel, and I love it. I don't know how many feet it is, but I can pull it out, and it covers the entire backyard, not just the garden. And it swings around, and I'm just loving it. So we only have 222 square feet of garden space, and we make good use of every single square inch. So let's just get back to happier times and take a look at the May Garden Part 2, and this is the sunny side. So it's a lot different than the last video on the shady side. So let's get to it. Starting right here, we're gonna move through quickly. I don't want to bore y'all, but this is our comfrey tea, and I've been cutting the mullein leaves and putting in there. Actually, I just put some fresh ones in last night, and I probably should not have, because the other ones have all pretty much disintegrated because it's been sitting here with rainwater in it and in the top. So now I guess we're just kind of starting over. So that's it. That's the comfrey tea. We're gonna see what that's all about in the garden as fertilizer. In this little corner right here, we have some mustard greens, some type of mustards, very spicy. We're gonna harvest these real soon and probably put something else in this pot. Next to that, there is rosemary that's doing very well, and carrots. This pot right here is tomatillo. It's a tomatillo plant that's growing very well. Now I understand you need to have a couple in order for them to grow best, or even grow at all, produce at all. So what I do have over here on the shady side of the garden, I have this container here that I've started some tomatillas in, so I'll probably end up transplanting some of these over into this container. I've got an empty container here, so that's exciting. Definitely we're going to have think about what we can put in there real soon. And there's a pretty lily. Then we move over here, and I'm trying my hand at asparagus, y'all. So I bought some of the roots from Lowe's. I planted 4 in here. So far I have these ferns here. So what I think is that I probably won't get any real asparagus until next year. But it's a start. I put a garden plastic runner down here because it's important for me to be able to walk around in this small garden. So I just kind of placed it there. I still got to pin it down a little bit better. It's all bunched up, and we had a lot of wind yesterday. Up here on this table, I've got some medicinals that I've started, and I'll probably talk about those on another video because I pretty much have medicinals all around the garden. Here again are those purple violets that are invasive to my yard, but I'm gonna let these go. And they are pretty green, and they do have a pretty flower on them. But right next to them is a container I have with some cucumbers that I will trellis up. But we're definitely going to make some more pickles this year, so I'm excited about that. All the things we can get with the cucumbers, and juicing. Save some money on the cucumbers in the store. So this is a tomato plant that looks like it's going to be pretty large, and I've got it all staked up here. It's taking off very well. You can see it's starting to flower, so we'll have some tomatoes soon. Moving on, we have a big gem pepper down here, and this is a type of paprika. I'll put a picture of it up and the name of it so you can see. It's called a Feher Ozon, something like that. So I'll put that up in the corner. Next to this is some type of root plant that's been here for a while. I'm not certain what it is. I want to say maybe it's a rutabaga, but I'm just leaving it so we can, there we go, let me pull that. I'm just leaving it so we can see what we can get out of it. Next to that is one of our container potato plants, and you were with me when I started that. And next to the potatoes is red raspberries and black raspberries. So we don't have any raspberries yet. I actually repotted this one back here, and this one here is still in the pot from Lowe's. So we'll see if we get anything. If we don't this year, we will the next, but at least we got to start on some berries. This hanging pot is just an assortment of different flowers. As you can see, there's a little bit of everything in here. I see some nasturtiums, maybe a coneflower, marigold. So we'll see what we finally get out of this. Next to that is, let's move this back. Well, this is a zucchini here, and it's starting to flower. I've moved this pot all around, but it looks like the majority of the flowers that are coming on here are males. And so I'm not worried. I know it'll come along just fine, but it may not work in this spot where it is right now. In this pot here are cucumbers, again, that are going to trellis up here and here. So I'm going to have them meet the cucumbers from the other side. I also have cucumbers down on this end over here too. So hopefully we get a nice meeting in the middle of cucumbers. And just to finish off the back side here, That's an Anaheim pepper there, and these are strawberries. We did have a few strawberries come out of here. One was very sweet. I enjoyed it. One was kind of bitter. The other one didn't look so good, although it was red. So I have a few more growing here. So we'll see. I fertilized it. It's really crowded in here. That could be an issue too. But we'll see how it goes. I'll keep you posted. So let's look at the plants down the side. So this is a melon of some sort, and it's growing well. So we'll keep an eye on that and keep you updated. Next to that is a container with beans and corn. I know the Three Sisters method also includes a squash, but these are only 10-gallon containers and I didn't want to push my luck, so we'll see how the beans and the corn grow together. Next to that is another bush bean in a 10-gallon. I had a variety of different beans, so I just planted them, and we'll see what they are when they come up. This is kind of an experimenting year with beans. This is a summer squash that's doing well, growing large. And then these are my sweet potatoes, and they're doing well too. Some of them are my own slips, and a couple I think are slips that I actually purchased. Well, this container holds a couple melon plants. Of course, I may have to thin some of those out, but we'll see. This is a pepper plant. This is a squash. And here I have a Tiny Tim tomato with a marigold. And I want to say that I did purchase some squash and cucumber varieties that don't need pollination. So I kind of have a combination of different cucumbers and squash. So we'll see what happens. Back here is Jamaican sorrel. And I know these grow very large. I'll probably only keep a couple of these and maybe give one away, or one or two away. Maybe one will stay in this pot and we'll keep it small, but one will have to be planted somewhere else because they do grow a good size. We have some moringa growing back here, and there's several moringa plants here too. And last year I did grow the moringa in this pot, and it got to be a pretty nice size by the end of the season. I was able to utilize it. I was able to preserve some, but of course it wasn't going to live over the winter in my area, not outside. I was coming in the house and look who we found. The captain, feeding his birds. They got 3 eating spots back here. One in this tree. One there. And then they have a brick, some type of a seed brick that he puts in this container here. Sometimes we sit out here and bird watch, and of course we have all the other things too. Snakes, squirrels, chipmunks. Oh, if I could, there's like 3 chipmunks back here that chase each other around all the time. All of those I don't mind being back here. We all live together in harmony, except for the groundhogs. You're not gonna harm nobody. Look how close the birds are right now. Back to the final May garden tour. I didn't get very good onion growth. There was a lot of cold weather, rain, snow, and the onions just didn't do well. They got mushy, they died out. So this was the first year for my garden beds, and you know, they're probably not the most fertile or the best for any plants right now because I'm still cultivating everything. But we just decided to just take them up. I took the onion in the house. I made a lot of onion powder and things like that, and we're going for something else now. So we've got peppers in this bed, we've got tomatoes, we've got dill, we've got some squash. It's just a combination of things. I see one eggplant right there. I actually planted this sunflower, and it's growing pretty well. The funny thing is that the leaves were kind of eaten up on it, and I kind of picked them off. I don't know why. I just didn't like the way they looked, but it probably looks worse like this. But then I realized that sunflowers can be a trap plant. And, maybe it was just doing its job, and I shouldn't have been so hasty with taking the leaves off because it's protecting my other plants right here. Over here are all of my eggplants. I've got a couple of varieties, the Black Beauty, and I believe it's the Ichiban. There's basil and there's dill in there. And I can't tell you why I'm growing so much eggplant. I'm really the only one in my family that likes it, so I don't know how we can preserve it. We'll see. I do want to use my canner this year, so we'll see how that goes. I think it's pretty. I love the purple plants. Maybe that's it. But I do enjoy a good eggplant parmesan. Around the borders of the bed, I planted flowers. So there's cosmos, there's marigolds, what else? I think there's a couple of other flowers I put in there too. So hopefully as it warms up around here, some of these flowers will take off. And we'll have some flowers around the borders of all of these raised beds. This is another one of those beds that originally my plan was for this to be a sweet potato bed way back in the early year when I was planning out what this garden was going to be. But that didn't work out. As you can see, these are sweet potatoes right here. Now this is predominantly tomatoes and peppers. Again, there's some carrots in there. There's some dill. There's basil. And there's flowers around the border, which will be coming in real soon. And then there's this beautiful sunflower. And so I looked it up, y'all, and they say sunflowers are a good companion plant with tomatoes and peppers. And as I told you, the one in the bed that we just looked at was actually trapping, it appears to me, bugs. So maybe it's a good thing. This is an experiment for me, so we'll see. Moving on over here, let's see, we have another potato plant, or another potato container. You saw me plant this one too in this green pot. So I did plant 3 tomato plants in ground. These are my paste tomatoes. This one in ground is San Marzano. This one in ground is a tomato Roma. And this one back here in ground is a tomato Amish paste. But as you can see, I try to keep my walkways clear. There's a walkway here. I've got a potato container there, which I'll move, but I do have a walkway here so that I can get in the back when these cucumbers and stuff start coming on, so I can get to them. I've got another walkway here, that I kind of crowded out with these 3 plants right here, but I can move them if I need to, but I do have enough space to get in there. Then I can walk around the back, and then I have another walkway right here. So again, with small space gardening, it's important to not paint yourself up against the wall. What is it? Not paint yourself into a corner. So here's the yarrow. I've been trimming this back again to keep it out of the walkway, but it doesn't appear to hurt it. It looks like it's starting to flower. See that? And I've actually even started drying out some of the yarrow ferns. We've got a borage here, and as you know, borage grows huge. So I've been kind of trimming this back because I don't want it to take over all the space here. So I've got to get out here and do a little bit more work on it. Don't want to kill it. Don't want to take too much off at one time. And I do want to see that beautiful flower that it produces. So I'm trying to be delicate with it. These are my blueberries. Not really doing so well. I don't really know what to expect. I don't see very much, but this is a blueberry plant that I had from last year, and I added another one to it. So we'll see. I do have a sunflower in there as well. I'm going to read up on if the sunflower could be preventing the blueberry from producing. I think I read that it doesn't do that, but we'll see. And something's been back here really munching on this plant. So that looks like something big got a hold of that. So we'll see. I think I took care of the groundhog issue, but we'll see. There's an area in the back here that is like 2 by 2, and I put some corn back there. So we'll see, what happens. We'll see. We'll see if we can get some corn. Here's some mullein that's growing up here. It looks like it's starting to flower on top. And these are some beans that are starting to trellis up right here. All right, so let's just take a look at this garden bed here. Again, I have spent some time putting flowers around the edges. The flowers are really slow growing this year. I don't know. Maybe it's because we've had so much rain. I've transplanted some. I put seed down, and it's kind of slow taking off. But look at this calendula, though. Look at this. That was a tongue twister. Look at this calendula. Look how big and beautiful it is, coming right out the side right there. So that's going to be pretty with flowers. But this bed is, again, tomatoes, peppers. This is my hot pepper side. I tried to keep the majority of hot peppers on this side of the garden. This is, again, is the sunny side of the garden. So hot peppers, tomatoes. So let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4. I've got 4 tomato plants that I can see right offhand back here. And the rest are pepper plants. These are the peas. They were slow taking off. And it's really not a lot that grows on this pea vine here. So we just kind of eat them, me and the grandkids. I don't even know if next year I'll bother with peas. Unless you can grow a lot of them, they're really just something to get started in the early part of the season. But they're not very prolific for me. In between the beds, I have another walking space. And we've got a container of rosemary that I started from seed that I'm very proud of. And then we just have this little hanging banner across the top with, again, some calendula, parsley. I did have some dill in there, but I harvested it. So it's just a little extra place for some herbs. So we're looking at the next bed over here. And of course, in the back, we have peas again, and very sparse. And they'll be coming out soon. But I actually planted beans to come up and take over that spot. So I might need to get over there and do some more work on it and see what's going on with it. So again, this bed is mostly tomatoes and a few peppers. And I put okra back here. Shout out to my grandson's 4th grade teacher, because my grandson Dash is one of my biggest fans. I would say maybe he is my biggest fan other than my husband. And he comes over and he says, "Nana, you've got 920 subscribers." Or he'll come over and tell me how he talks to his teacher about his Nana's garden. And his teacher, I think, has a garden too. And he's very proud to speak on what's going on out here. So that makes me happy. But a shout out to his teacher, because she sent okra seeds home with him the other day. Thank you very much. I appreciate it. And we're going to plant those. Okay, so back here we have a fig plant. And there are some figs on it, but pretty much the same 3 have been on it for a while now. So, I don't know what to expect. I might need to move it so it could get some more sun. I fertilized it. I keep it watered. but it's not in the ground. It would probably do better in the ground, but for now, as you know, I don't have that kind of space. So this is it, y'all. I've showed you the shady side on another video a couple of weeks ago. This is the sunny side. I also have 3 green stalks. These 2, and I've got this one over here that I just planted in, and I got it for myself for Mother's Day. So I do want to share with you the green stalks. I'll do that in another video, perhaps along with the medicinals that I'm growing. I do have this little container here with 2 different types of marigolds in it, and I kind of pull those and transplant those in other areas of the garden as they grow. So these are starting to get pretty big now. I can move them out somewhere else, start something else in that planter. And then I have this little bitty planter inside the greenhouse that I start things into. So as you can see, there's a few things starting in there. It needs some water. But I had very good success growing plants in here and being able to take down all my contraption I had in the house during the early months. Thanks for watching, you guys. I try to have a little fun. I hope you enjoyed it. So we're going to end this video by trimming up this herb basket a little bit. And I want to take a good bit of this cilantro inside, and we're going to make a nice pico today. Actually, this is the last thing. This is salad week. So what we're going to do is come out and get these beautiful heads of lettuce here, and some of this kale. And we're going to have salad week. This is Bliss. Thanks for watching.